What's going on, guys? I'm Known Player here, and today we're me going over some more Destiny news and talking about some recent things going on with the game. As said in yesterday's video, Bungie were going to announce some changes to the loot system today, which they did, so I'll be talking about those changes in this video, and I'll also be going over a few other important things you should definitely know about as well. So Bungie announced that next week with the hard mode of the raid, they're going to be dropping an update patch called 2.4.1. Now, one of the things in this is going to be an upgrade to the loot system, which they mentioned before. So they said on October 18th, with the release of the heroic mode of the Wrath of the Machine raid, your maximum light level is going to be increased to 400. With this increase, many reward sources will also increase their maximum light. Strike Hordes, Nightfall, Exotic Engrams, Trials of Osiris, Crucible, and Iron Banner will now provide rewards up to 400 light. So on top of that, the Archon's Forge, the Heroic Sievert Strike playlist, and Legendary Engrams, their light cap is now going to be 385, which is a bump up from 365, where they were currently before. And also Rare Engrams and the Sievert Strike playlist normal mode, those are now going to be dropping up to 365 light. The recommended light for these activities will remain the same, with the exception of the Nightfall, which will be increased to a recommended light of 380. For those striving to reach the heroic Wrath of the Machine raid, or even their first attempt run at a normal Wrath of the Machine run, players should find more paths and options available to them to reach the recommended light. For players going through the Wrath of the Machine raid, Trials of Osiris, and Iron Banner, these activities will now attempt to reward higher light on average compared to your current light. So the final thing they mentioned is that artifacts and ghosts were dropping from fewer sources than intended, and those have been added to Archon's Forge completion rewards. These items are now going to drop up to 400 light, and in faction packages, the rate at which ghosts are rewarded have been increased. Likewise, the rate of artifacts from Eris Morn faction packages, those have also been increased. So in summary, of course, on Tuesday when this patch does go live with the Wrath of the Machine hard mode raid, the new light cap is going to be 400, and pretty much all of those endgame sources which now drop 385, those are going to be dropping at 400 of the max, and everything that previously capped at 365 is now going to be capping at 385. So it's basically as I thought in my last video, they are increasing the places that artifacts and ghosts drop. So Archon's Forge is now a guaranteed source for those two. Unfortunately, they didn't announce anything improving the Archon's Forge loot itself or the offering system, but at least we now have another way to get ghosts and artifacts, which is really cool. And it's also nice to see more ghosts are going to be dropping from faction packages and also from Eris Morn. Artifacts are going to have a higher chance. I'm pretty sure it was high before, it was like 75% of getting an artifact from the Eris Morn package, but I guess now it's going to be even better. So really good news for those who still trying to level up and get those artifacts and ghosts. So on top of that, they also said there are more changes to come. Those announcements are yet to be ... unmasked. In the meantime, we're looking for heroes to brave a harder raid. So obviously that joke about unmasked is a subtle hint towards Festival of the Lost, the Halloween event, which is going to feature brand new masks for us. This patch update will have some really cool stuff, and like I said, it's going to be dropping on Tuesday, and there's more stuff in this patch that they have yet to announce, and beyond that there's going to be more improvements as well to the game, and I'm hoping that's when they expand the vault space too, because like I said, I can't see them adding a load of masks with the Halloween event without expanding vault space, so those are some things to look forward to very soon for Destiny in the coming weeks. So the next thing Bungie talked about are some of the bugs and fixes they've got coming on the way and things they're aware of. The first thing is that exotic faction class item quests may only be progressed if the player equips a Spectre class item of the desired faction. So this may be found within the Chroma faction of the Reputation packages. That's apparently a bug they're working on as well. Also, the Sievert Heroic Strike playlist, those don't currently progress towards the Take a Strike mode in the Rise of Iron record book. They're aware of that and apparently going to be fixing that soon. So of course, either the hard mode of the strikes, the Heroic playlist, that's not going to count towards the record book, and that should be fixed soon as well. Something else pretty interesting is the Trials of Osiris shader, the Devoted, is currently not available in-game. It's supposed to be dropping, but it appears to be bugged and it's not dropping right now. This is an image of what it looks like. Don't know what it's going to look like on armor. It looks very similar to how the Hunter armor set normally looks for Trials, but apparently the shader should be dropping very soon. Maybe it'll be in next Tuesday's patch. And the final thing is that while progressing the new Thorn quest, A Light in the Dark, Shiro 4 can display a false waypoint in the Iron Temple, and over his head you'll notice that flashing icon indicating you should go to him, but there'll actually be nothing for you to do, so that's an annoying bug, and a lot of people have noticed. So the next thing I want to talk about is actually something that could help you guys a lot and is definitely worth knowing, and that's to do with Xur, who I don't normally make videos about because the inventory is normally super boring, but today he's actually selling something really interesting, and that's a proper exotic engram. So normally he only sells legacy engrams, which in this slot will only of course reward year 1 items for the sake of completion and filling out your exotic kiosk. He's actually selling a proper exotic engram now, and these are gauntlets which of course will decode into year 3 items above your light level. So if you have some strange coins and you still want to level up fast, you should definitely go visit and buy a few of these. And you can also, more importantly, get the new exotic gauntlets that have arrived in the Rise of Iron. The Shinobi's Vow are definitely one of the best things you can get from these if you didn't get them last week, but these are probably some of the best hunter exotics in the game now for PvP. There's also the Ophidian Aspect Gauntlets for the Warlock, those are really good too. And you can also, of course, get the Thagamizers, which are the new gauntlets for the Titan, which I personally think are one of the ugliest and most ridiculous exotics in the game. I think their exotic perk is quite useless as well. But there you go, you can get the 3 new Risevine exotic gauntlets from these engrams, so definitely worth paying attention to. Also, before you do buy them, you should definitely make sure and double check that they aren't legacy engrams. I'm not sure if this is a bug or intended that he's selling these instead of legacy, but Bungie could actually do a very quick hotfix and make him sell legacy again. So double check before you buy, don't go buy a bunch of legacy if they hotfixed it. I still don't know if from now on he's going to sell proper exotic engrams as well as legacy, or maybe instead of them. I doubt they're going to get rid of legacy engrams altogether, because they are quite important for new players to get the old exotics and the year 1 items that you can't get anymore. So it's kind of important they still remain in Destiny. I don't think they're going to get rid of them, but I think it might be a one-off. It's either a bug, or they might start alternating between the two every week, and one week he sells a legacy, the other week he sells a proper year 3 exotic. But definitely something you should take note of, and if you want some extra light levels before the heroic raid launches on Tuesday, this is a good way to get them. And as a final note, the Bones of Ao he's selling for the Hunter, these have a 97% perfect roll on their stats, so if you want some good bones, these are definitely worth picking up as well. So there we have it, that is all the latest news directly from Bungie and things they announced about the loot changes, and also some useful advice with Xur and the exotics. As I said, we are going to find out some more info about the other things in this new patch on Tuesday, so make sure you subscribe and I'll have some videos for you guys detailing what's new when they release the patch notes. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on my future Destiny videos. Drop a like on this one if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.